Hey there, are you looking for a nutritious refreshment this summer? Are you craving for a sweet and healthy juice drink in one? And this video is just for you, so tune in. Hi there, welcome to my channel where I'll talk about anything recreational and motivational. And if you might like my video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button for my many videos to come. Let's get on with the video. In this video, I will show you how to make a delicious and nutritious healthy drink, flu fighter refreshment that you can make in your house ready. In this video, I will blend the ingredients of fruits. If you don't like the fibers, you may want to have a juicer with you. But if you might not have a juicer ready, you might want to use the blender instead. Well, the advantage of juicers, they say, is that the fibers of the food are now removed because of the juicer itself. So when you have blenders, the fiber will always be contained in the juice. So in the case of this video, since I only have a blender, so the fibers will also be included. Well, you know that the fiber also has advantages. Well, the advantages of having the fiber is that the fiber helps in cleaning the gut, and the fiber creates the volume of the smoothie that we are going to make. Let's talk about the ingredients now. One is orange. Well, one medium orange is practically enough to attain the recommended vitamin C for the day. It won't hurt if you have a lot more. So this is my orange for today. And well, to be honest, this is the only one available because of this crisis. So let's first start off how to prepare the orange in blending. Remove the peel. Also remove the white stalk in the middle of that orange. It tastes bitter when it's blended, so always remove that. Of course, you will remove the seeds. If the orange is seedless, then you may not do so. In choosing the orange, make sure that you always have the best tasting orange that you can have. Or if not so, you may use the honey as a sweetener, but I don't prefer using sweeteners. Next, this fruit is an antioxidant and also used by many people who like to diet. This would be lemons. Well, in this juice, actually a yield of half a lemon is already fine, but then again, I will use a whole lemon because the yield of a single lemon is more or less 20 grams only. To prepare the lemons, squeeze the lemons evenly and extract all those juices from the pulps. Well, a tip though, if you would like to have more squeezed in the lemon, might first place the lemon in hot water for about 5 to 15 minutes. And then slice it in half and squeeze. Well, the hot water method I use is only for hand squeezing. If you have the device to squeeze it easier, you might want to use it. The third ingredient, and is one of the most well-known ingredients of the fruit family, we have the apples. Be it green or red, it doesn't really matter. So use that apple and make sure it is sweet. Well, if you might want to use a different tasting apple, it's fine because it will contribute with the orange in the taste. So the unique taste will depend on what the constituent fruits are. Using these ingredients that I mentioned is enough of a yield for 2 persons. So here, while I'm discussing about the steps in making it, I will show you the pictures. Forgot to mention that I like adding tomatoes in the juice. Well, tomatoes has lycopene and vitamin A, and it's very healthy for you. Low calories, and it's very good in juicing. So first, drop the tomatoes. Particularly love plum tomatoes in the Philippines because it's the most common here. Also, tomatoes taste like fruits as well. I have said I use blender and not juicer in this video. And if you might hate the fiber in your juices, you might as well use the juicer. To show you my blender, here is my blender here. I love this blender so much because the blades are very strong and rigid. Well, those blades are very strong enough to crush ices of this size. So this blender has high capacity and a high RP. But if your blender is not as fast and not as good as this one, you might as well crush the ice first into smaller bits. So with blenders, as I've said before, is that the advantage is you have fiber included in your juice. Fibers clean your gut. So with the blender, you can make a smoothie. But if you have a juicer, as well have only the juice, so it's called juice. So I will now introduce the smoothie as a term. So I dropped the tomatoes earlier Remember that tomatoes has seeds. Remove the seeds first and drop it. Next is the oranges. I slice the oranges in order to make sure that the seeds are removed. So in here, I remove the pulp and I remove the center stalk, the one that is bitter. Drop it inside. Next, I squeeze the lemons and have the yield in his container. So before I poured it inside the blender, I just remove the seeds again. Pour the squeezed lemons inside. The next one is the apple. First, I also use the hot water method in the apples because there's wax in the apples there. So if I pour hot water or I dip the apple for at least 1 to 5 minutes, I also rub the apples in order to remove the wax. And also, it may kill the bacteria that are present in the skin. There, I slice the apples into crescents. You might not want the apples brown because of the enzymatic browning. You might as well slice it and put it in the container as early as possible. And then, lastly, add the ice. Well, as I said before, my blender is so strong that it can crush ice of bigger sizes than common. Place it in the blender and generously blend the mix. So let's discuss about the benefits of this drink. Here, I would like to discuss to you about the blocks of this juice. So here it is. Look at this list. The tomatoes in 60 grams has protein and carb and fat of 0. It's quite low in calories. So the orange is 200 grams. We have protein and fat of 0 while the carbs is 2. We have the lemons. Say a 30-gram yield. We have protein of 0, carbs of 0, and fat of 0. We have the apples of 250 grams. We have protein of 0, carbs of 3, and fats of 0. So in total, we only have the carbs of 5 blocks. So as you can see, if you have 2 people consuming your smoothie, they will have about 2 to 3 blocks each of carbohydrates only. While you're at it, consider it in your block diet too. So let me discuss to you then about the calories. In this mixture, the calories is for the tomato of 60 grams, we have protein of 2 calories, carbs of 7, and fats of 1 calorie. We have an orange of 200 grams, protein of 7, carbs of 75, and fats of 2 calories. In the lemons, we have 10 calories only for carbs, and the apple is 2 calories in protein, 114 calories in carb, and fat has 4 calories. In total, we have a protein of 11 calories, in protein, carb of 206 calories, and fats of 7 calories. As I can see, it's not that bad. So let's now proceed to the nutrients it contains. And if this concoction is consumed alone, based on a 19 to 29 years old RENI, we have the calcium of 103 milligrams, and it is 14% of the said age bracket. Potassium of 809 milligrams, which is 40%. Vitamin A is about 423 micrograms and is 60% based on the male and 70% on the female. The vitamin C is 139 milligrams and is 198% for the male and 231% for the female. While the vitamin K is 11 micrograms, which is about 18% of the male and 20% of the female requirement in the RENI. So that's it, guys. We have the calcium, potassium, and the vitamin A, C, and K. That's a good investment for you. So it may increase your immune system against these viruses in this crisis that we're going on today. So if you might well have it, blend this, guys, and try it. So that's all there is to it, guys. Hope you like my videos, and if you might like my video, hit that like button and subscribe button for my many videos to come. So thank you so much. Eat better, track better, and be better. Thank you.